What's going on, guys? Today we are going to do something that I didn't really see on YouTube so much, as I use a catering software, and I didn't see a lot of stuff, and it's an online based software. So I figured today we're going to take you through building a proposal, at least with our software, so you can kind of see everything that goes into that. So let's get into it. All right, so first let me get my screen shared real quick. Me out of the way. Perfect. All right, so what we use here is it's called Better Cater. When I first opened the company, there was a ton of different things out on the market, and it was really hard to dial in exactly what I was looking for, especially at the beginning when I don't really know what I was looking for. I tried a caterer that I worked for. She was using Cateries. I tried going down that road, and it was very not user-friendly. So that was a very short-lived thing, especially not doing this before. So I was trying out a couple other ones. And by the way, not affiliated with any of these. I'm not getting paid by any of these companies. So I tried Total Party Planner, doing a demo there. And for the price, it was pretty significant. So after I tried a few different softwares, this one was on the relatively cheaper side, and it was the most user-friendly out of all of them. And we'll get into some other stuff later. Today we're just going to be primarily building proposals, building a proposal. But there are some things that it doesn't do that maybe the other ones do. Having a full CRM would be nice. Having to integrate with our outside softwares would be nice. There's a few little kinks in there that would be good, but relatively speaking, as far as training staff to use something, having something to where I can set the prices and my staff just have to fill in the blanks, this program makes it really easy for me to do that. So over the course of the last 5 years, the menu slowly built into this, monster, and we have to go through like once a year and clean up a lot of things because there are lots of one-off menu items. There are also lots of, holiday or seasonal things that we don't do all the time. And there's just a lot of also like some duplicates that happen. So once a year, we try to clean it up. As the company grows, though, it's becoming more of a regular maintenance thing, as I make new positions within the company, it's just going to become one of their responsibilities is just maintaining this, making sure that there's not excess dead weight within the software. So with any of these softwares, they're going to require like a period of learning how to use it, and then there's going to be a period of adding stuff to it. So what I did is I was just building it as I went. So as I got parties rolling in, at the beginning we were adding the menu items in, and once the menu items were in and the prices were set, then the next time I needed to reuse that thing, it's already built into the system. So what it's allowed me to do, though, is to be consistent with my pricing. Catering is a competitive thing. And I encourage it. I encourage a lot of people to go get other proposals. But what it for people that use us year after year, it allows me to maintain like stability. So if you get, obviously if I have to raise the prices year after year, there's a steady incline. But if there's no way that I'm going to be half the cost I was the year before or double the cost that I was the year before, because it maintains my pricing. And I've received proposals from other companies that, we've been bidding against. And, just one of the criteria is if a customer tells us, hey, so-and-so did it for half the price or whatever, for us to be competitive with that, we actually make them give us one of their proposals just so we can make sure that we're comparing and not just taking their word for it. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these people, they do one of these big events ever. Maybe it's like a wedding or something, and they're not used to putting out $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 on food, so they're I don't want to take their word for it. So being extremely consistent has helped me grow my regulars, and so that people know that when they're getting an honest proposal, and I'm not just going to like hit them with something because they live in a nice neighborhood, or I don't know. I'm just not going to manipulate the system. I might, recommend some nicer things, but I'm not going to manipulate the price. It's not trainable. There's no way to scale that way. So, but there's a ton of stuff, and maybe I'll do some more videos on the software itself. But today I just want to take you through how I do our proposal. So first up, we're just going to go to new event. And there's a few ways in here that we can build it out. But first things first, I'm going to do it for myself. And then we'll do venue address. We'll do our kitchen. Oops, no, gotta love them quick keys. Don't know if I want to do that one either. It's going to confuse people in the office should I forget to delete this after the video. So let's do the coffee shop set in there, huh? There we go. Quick keys. Mac makes it a lot easier than typing all that out. Event title. What should we do this event for? Should we just do a wedding? Or I feel like I talk a lot about weddings. Let's do a cocktail party. So what we do is in the event title, we try to use the same like the type of the party is in the event title. If there's any and of course everybody's going to use these different, but the event title will be the type of a party that we're catering, and then where we got the lead from generally. If it's blank, it was just someone that calls in. We do WW for Wedding Wire. The Knot is TK. And then if there's a planner, we would put, the planner name in there, whatever it is. And obviously not literally the planner name. We'd put the planner's name in there. But we're just going to go cocktail party for now. The status for all of our parties that we are building out, they automatically get the proposal status. A lot of these we don't use, but from proposals, once you give us money and you confirm it, lo and behold, we would confirm it at that time. And then all of our events that we do are confirmed events, and those are the ones that we print out and we cook and we actually go on site. Canceled would be something that canceled and they would want their like a refund back, or like say that they're not going to be like a future customer of ours. So say like they were doing a wedding down here and their venue got destroyed and now they're going to get married somewhere else. We're not going to see that again. So they go into the system as canceled. Declined are just people that got proposals and never booked, so a lot of declines go in there. We don't use inquiry. Holds are for people that, actually we don't use hold anymore either because we moved it to postponed. And a lot of these are built within the system. It would be nice if the system allowed us to take some of this stuff out. It just doesn't. But holds used to be like people that haven't paid yet, but we know that we're awaiting it. But then they added this awaiting payment button, so now we use that. Closed are once they've booked and we've confirmed them, and then after the event, they move to closed when the final payment's been made. Meetings are for tastings, because we'll duplicate the menu and then schedule the tasting, and then that'll go in as a meeting just so that our chefs and our other staff know that it's not an actual full-fledged event and not to book staff and vehicles or rentals or anything like that. And then postponed people are people that had to cancel their event due to whatever nature they have, and they want to postpone for a later date, and then we actually keep the deposit on that until they do that event. So that's a quick rundown there, but we're going to do a proposal real quick. Invoice number changes automatically. I don't got to do anything with that. We're going to do this let's do that for this Saturday. It's not like we don't already have 6 events going out that day. So, and then the guest count's very important because it calculates the per price amount in all the categories. So it's really important for us to get that guest count in there. All right. So moving down, event times. We always start off with event times just so that once we put the staff in, it's going to match up with the event time on here. Now, this can be changed. We can get a planner involved, and the planner gives us a different timeline or whatever. We just want to make sure we get something in there just so it matches up with how long we have staff there, and they can go, and you can go off as a customer. You can go off and see when we're going to be there, when the dinner is proposed to start, and when we're actually going to be leaving. So we always start with not staff departure, staff arrival on mainland. Wow. staff arrival time. So some of these built-in times, they don't quite match up, so that you can do a custom time. But so the staff arrival time. So if say you called and you said, hey, we're going to do a cocktail party, we're going to start at 6. Our staff arrival is always going to be around 2 hours before. So our staff arrival is going to be 4. Save. And then we're going to add start time. Event start time. 6 p.m. Now, if there was something else that we were going to do around that start time, like say the hors d'oeuvres are going to be passed, or there's going to be a toast, or we're going to do passing drinks as people come in, like a welcoming drink, we would also put that in here too, just to make it easier on my staff. Event start time. And if this is a really simple party, we're just going to go staff arrival, event start time, and then end/departure. And that's as simple as it gets. Staff departure. And why we put end/staff departure is to make it so it's very clear to the customer or you to that we're actually going to leave at that time. We're not going to end the party and then once the party's done, then clean up. So if that was the case and you had that, then you would just let us know when you wanted the party to end, and then we would put the staff departure accordingly after that. But we just put this here so that we know. So our minimum all our events is 4. I'm assuming people want to eat for around 2 hours, so we'll go 6 to 8 for that, and then we'll start cleaning up. I assume we should be able to be cleaned up and out of there by 9 p.m. And all of this stuff is customizable. Everybody, we're going to go to what the customer wants. If the customer doesn't know, at least they have this starting point. And once they have the starting point, maybe they didn't think about it, then they can tweak or add things. If there's going to be a cake cutting or a speech or, the guest of honor or something like that, we can put it in the timeline. We can have as many. Some of these timelines are really huge. But this is just a basic cocktail party. And when we do cocktail parties, we want to make sure, or when we do any parties, we want to make sure that we put when we're going to be there, when we're going to start food, when we're going to leave. So we're going to start cleaning up right around an hour before that. And yeah, that's it. So once we get to the parties, there's 2 ways to go about this. So for us, like if it was a wedding package or something, we have some pre-made packages in here that they're not built a la carte. They're built as like a package price. So for instance, our pass hors d'oeuvres for our classy menu, we go 100 servings. It's built out already at 18% or at $18. And we're going to save the menu, and it's going to auto-populate. These are the 4 things that are already in there. And then you'll notice there's no price over here. That's because this price we built out as a whole for those 4 hors d'oeuvres is $18 per person. Should we put that stuff down here under the menu items, each one of these is going to have an a la carte price on it. So this makes it easier for big events. If they're just going to do like a few pass hors d'oeuvres and dinner, we'll build this out and we'll create another menu. We'll do, let's say they wanted to mix it up and they're going to do the classy hors d'oeuvres, but we're going to do Asian style menu. Buffet for 100 people. Boom. $28 a person. Add the tax and service charge. Boom. Now we have our salad and a pre-done menu. Now there are other options on here. So actually this would be good. Let's open up our website real quick. So these packages that are pre-built in here, when I go to create it new, these packages, not all of them, but most of these are coming off of our website. So our website has these classy Asian pasta barbecue. So it's going to have these. So what we just added there was these hors d'oeuvres. And we picked out 4 of them, like top sellers, bangers, the ones that everybody loves and, we do all the time. And it's not like we're picking our favorite thing. We're just picking things that get ordered the most. So initially you could pick any combination of any 4 of these hors d'oeuvres to go on there, and the price is going to be the same on here. So, but this is just again to give you a starting point. Like if you don't really know, at least you're going to get it on there. You're going to get a placeholder. The price isn't going to change if you switch these to any of these. So, have at it. And the same thing goes for Asian style menu. Asian style menu. Asian. Blam. So same thing. So the Asian style entrees for the package pricing, it comes with a salad, an entree, 2 sides, and if you wanted to add an additional entree, you could. Any of these things on there. How it's built out right now is just a single entree without the added entree onto there. But again, that's what gives you that starting point, which is why it's at the $28. So that's one way that we build these prices, and this is how we stay consistent with everything, and it just helps booking. I think last year we did around 150, 160 events, but total proposals built was like 1,000 because people, probably more. But I remember looking at the Excel spreadsheet, and it was in the thousands of lines. So yeah, so that's one way to build it. Those are package pricing, so that's how that works. So we're going to remove those real quick. Remove. Then now, so we're going to do the individual menu items. So this is a huge list of stuff in here. So ideally, you give us kind of an idea of what you want. So actually, let me think about it right now. So we're doing a cocktail party. So it's not going to be a sit-down dinner. People are going to be mingling. They're going to be sitting around. Probably there's going to be a bar on there, having some drinks, having some fun. It's not going to be like a formal thing. So for a cocktail party, we're going to do a mixture of past and placed hors d'oeuvres. And so let's go for past. I'm writing this down so I don't forget. We're going to do, I like to do a couple of hot, couple of cold, and always have like a vegetarian option. So we're going to do chicken and waffle bites. That'd be fun. Chicken waffles. We're going to do, let's see, boom. Bourbon chicken skewers. We're going to have to throw like a slider on there. When you're doing something like a cocktail party where it's not actually like a formal dinner, you never want to give, or at least we don't, you can do whatever you want, but we don't want to ever give people such a light menu of small bites that they leave like hungry. So we make sure to put at least 1 or 2 heavier items on there. Most of the time it ends up being some sort of slider. So for this, I think we got some fun sliders on here. Let's take that off. Sliders. And we're around, let's do Hawaiian chicken sliders. That looks fun. Hawaiian chicken. And we're going to do, let's do some meatballs. Let's do orange. The menu literally has 900 things on it. So that's why I'm trying to think on my feet so I don't have to do it on the fly. So we're going to do orange, ginger spice meatball, and we're gonna do, let's do like a shrimp cocktail shooter, and let's do a charcuterie board. Can't have a nice little cocktail without a charcuterie board. And then we'll do some sort of mousse thing to pass around because for something sweet. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna separate, and this is another thing that I wish this program did. I wish there was like place markers that I could just designate which things are passed, which things are placed. So what I did, since they don't have that, is I created like dummy menu items that say past items, placed items, buffet, dinner, just all the little notations. I created a category in here because it was one thing that I can do for notations, and I have a ton of these like notations that I can slip into the menu, so that when people look at the BEOs and menus, they can see everything below it. So we're going to start with our past hors d'oeuvres just because I'm OCD and I always start with the past. Not for any other reason other than that. I think it looks neater when all the menus are lined up exactly the same. If you have 10 menus hanging on the board and all the chefs are looking at them, it's a lot easier to see like all of the past first, then the placed, then the dinner. And even in the dinner, I want to have it go salad and then entrees and sides. Call it OCD. It's just good to have systems. So we're going to go past hors d'oeuvres. See, there's no associated price to that. It's just a place marker for the menu. And then the past ones, we're going to do chicken and waffles, chicken waffles, chicken and waffle bite. That'll be good. We do 100 of those. Another thing too is that we always make sure that if you're going to have 100 people there, we're not going to let you get like 40 of this and 20 of that and 60 of that. It's too confusing. And then I don't want to open my staff and I up to people not being able to eat something and it being because there was not enough food order. So 100 servings means 100 servings. And then you're letting our staff and the chefs and everybody make the, or not everybody, let my chefs be the ones that dictate how much to make. And on average, we make, between 10 to 30% over, depending on what it is, depending on how long of a prep item it is, or if it's an entree or it's a past hors d'oeuvre or it's a place hors d'oeuvre. We kind of have our ways of thinking about if we need to make more or not. So chicken and waffle. So just because it says 100 servings, I'm not going to give you like 100 each. So there's going to be between 110 and 130 of them if they're passed. If they're placed, it'll be like 130 to 150 because we have to prep a little bit more for placed. But we don't charge anything different. It's just we want to be the ones that dictate that to make your party a success, because this is what we do all the time. And for other people that cater, they want to split it up, and I don't want to open up for that. So we're gonna do chicken and waffle bites. We're gonna do bourbon chickens and chicken skewer. Whoa, that's weird. That's not what that is. Let's do bourbon chicken, orange bourbon glazed shrimp here. Let's do bourbon chicken cups. The other price was wild. And then we're gonna do shrimp cocktail shooters. Or actually, we're going to do pass and placed. So we'll do, what if we do the rest placed? It'll make a nice looking buffet. So we're going to go placed. And I'm always thinking about that too. As far as being pass and placed, if something is placed, which means it's going to be like on a buffet or it's going to be on a display versus walked around your party, even if something is placed or on display, if people are not responding well to the first round of hors d'oeuvres, it's nothing to pick up one of the platters off the buffet and walk that around just to get people more involved in the process. So we're gonna go place because I like making the buffet look full and nice. So place orders 100 because that's how many people there are. We're gonna do the sliders Hawaiian. And you see how the price is already in there. We dictated it once we put it in. Once a year, if we have to go through and edit it, there's a ton of items on there. There's like 900 things. So if we have to go in and edit it, it takes a long time. So I don't want to I'm not going to scrutinize this month and next month. I'm going to make sure that I have enough padding to make sure that, if you get a party and your neighbor wants to get another party in a month and then you guys compare your bills, because a lot of people do that. I don't want there to be like some crazy thing to make people pissed off at us. So I'm gonna make things as easy as possible for both us and the client. So year to year I'll raise where I need to, but if I make one raise, I raise everything in that little category. So if my price goes up on chicken, all the chicken's going to get a little bit of a price increase. So that's how we kind of try to do it in an organized fashion. So Hawaiian chicken sliders, orange meatball, or orange spice, cranberry, orange, and ginger spice meatballs. Yep. We'll do those. Those look nice. Those are nice placed or passed. Just depends on what you want. Then we're going to do the shrimp cocktail shooters. These are also good. We do them with yuzu cocktail shooter. Yuzu's like a nice little citrus. So we do that. A charcuterie board. That. And these are all the prices per person. So you'll see once we get out to the end. Let me see if we're going to do a moose shooter. Let's do the triple moose shooter assortment. So we give them a little of everything. That's going to have like a fruit mousse shooter, a chocolate mousse shooter, and usually like a key lime or something like that. All right, so this is kind of just what we look like when we're banging out an a la carte menu. So this is why this is important when we do the guest count. It's 100 people. It's coming out right now to about $34 a person is what it is. And now, mind you, when we do any staffed party, that's what we primarily do, 99%. We really don't like to do drop-offs unless we have to, or unless it's repeat customers or something. But, you're also getting us there. We're going to clean up everything. We're going to set up everything. It's going to be as if, nothing ever existed when we left. You're going to be able to enjoy your event and not worry about the aftermath and leaving stuff out and garbage is taken out. We'll take care of all that stuff for you. So You know, a lot of people think that, oh, we're buying in bulk, so it should be cheaper. It's like, I have to disagree. Like, this isn't Costco. You know, we're actually providing a service and we're going to bring that service to you versus you're going to go and get in your car and drive and be stuck in traffic and then wait in line and then go to the restaurant and get sat in a loud place. It's like, nope, you're going to do it at your home or you're going to do it at a venue and we're going to bring that to you, except for with all the random strangers that you have to be around. So next, so we have our food situated, and we like the Hawaiian chicken sliders. That's going to be that filling thing, so people don't leave hungry. And whenever we put these proposals out, nothing's set in stone. Just give us a call and be like, you know what? I don't like those. I think they suck. Okay, cool. What would you like else? You know, what is your husband like? I had somebody ask me for Kraft singles on the cheese platter. I said, I'm not going to put it on the cheese platter, but I'll bring it with me because her husband doesn't like all the Kraft, like the nice cheeses and stuff. He's just like a Ritz crackers and American cheese kind of person. And I'm like, no way. No, I'm not. I'll put the display out nice, but in the back, I'll keep some of that stuff for him just to make him happy. But I'm not going to display it. So we get asked for all sorts of stuff. So that's done. We're at $34 a person. I really don't think that that's that bad on the food side. And then we're going to go to beverages. Now, depending on what we have, maybe you have all the beverages and you need service, or maybe you want us to take care of everything, beverages and service, alcohol or non-alcohol. It's completely up to you. But for these videos purposes, I'm going to build one that's like everything that you need. So we're going to go call bar. I'm not going to do premium. Well, let's do premium bar. Let's go big. You can always go down, right? So we offer a beer and wine, Bellini bar, or alcohol anyway. We have beer and wine, a Bellini bar, we have a well bar, call bar, and then a premium bar, and then there's all the add-ons and stuff to it. But when we're building out the bar setup, some stuff's included. So we're going to go basic beverage package, which that we put on every proposal at the beginning because a lot of people overlook the just water or lemonade for their guests. So we don't charge a bunch for it, $3, $3.50. But we always put it on there. And if you don't want it, let us know. We'll take it off. Not a big deal. So we're going to go 100 to that. We're going to go call bar. Or no, we said premium. Let's do it. Premium bar. The premium bar is going to be, what is it? Mount Gay rum, Bullet bourbon, Bombay gin, Kettle One vodka, Patron, tequila, red and a white wine, 2 domestic beers, yada, yada, yada. And that's $35 per person. And these are all you can drink. So, you know, have at it, at least until we're like, hey, that guy's had too much. And with this, we're going to need some ice. Ice is one thing that's not included because some venues have it or some people have it. If we have to bring it, now we have to bring coolers and we got to make sure we have enough. And it's like a whole other thing. So if we don't have to bring it, it's a lot easier for us. But if we do, we got to charge for it. So let's do bar ice. Damn, I'm like sitting in a weird spot. Bar ice. Boom, baby. $1.50. All right. And then it's going to have the sodas and stuff. So bar mixers, automatically it's Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, Cranberry Tonic Club, and soda. Orange juice should be on there too, which we bring. But now typically if we didn't do the bar, this $2, we would be charging that $2 to you. But if you got the liquor through us, this is zeroed out. And then how many servings we need. And this is just there to keep our packing in order. So that's zeroed out. What else do we need for that? For the beverages? I think that's it. And then also for the bar, we're going to need cups and napkins and straws and all that stuff. Bar setup, disposable cups. So if you were not getting the liquor through us, we would charge you the $3.50 a person for all the disposable cups, napkins, straws, etc. that we need for your event. I mean, and to put it into perspective, if you have an event for 100 people with bar and with the basic beverage, just the water, iced tea, lemonade, it's pretty common to go through like 600 disposable cups roughly, because people will walk up to that thing and just be like, water, garbage, and it's like, ugh. So and we do this all the time, so we know how much to bring, and it very seldomly would we ever run out. And if we did, my staff would be happy to go get some stuff because we provided it. If you provided it and you forgot, then then it would be a little bit of a scenario we'd have to deal with, and that is something that you'd probably have to figure out. And our job is to plan for success. So just let us do it. Let us take care of this stuff. It's not a big deal. So we're gonna do 100 people of that, and then again, since the bar is on there, we're gonna zero that out, and then we're gonna need a bar. Maybe. So the actual bar itself, the 6-foot table bar upper shelf, if we're going to do this cocktail party in your house, we don't need it. So we're going to say, we're going to not do that. And then as we go, I'm going to add some notes in. I'm going to say, client has bar to set up in, just so that, and then when we get down to that, we'll clean it up. But as you do this, you just want to keep adding notes so that the customer and you knows what the heck's going on. So rentals are in. So now you're going to need, because it's a cocktail party, you're not going to need real big plates, but you are going to need plates and flatware. So we're going to go plates. Let's do premium disposables. It's a cocktail bar. It's cocktail. So premium disposables. Now, when we do this, if this was like a dinner, we would make the call what size to plates be. Since it's a cocktail party, we're going to do like a smaller plate, but we'll still have flatware and napkins and stuff too. If it was a dinner, we do a larger plate, and for our premium, we do like a nice white heavy duty plate with like a nice gold or silver rim on it, and then the flatware is like a real look like silver, plasticware. The common's going to be like a black or a gray, thinner plastic plate with clear silverware, like your picnic stuff. So we're going to go premium disposables on this baby. Okay, premium disposables. I want to put napkins on there just so that, even though they're included, I just want to make sure. Come on. Well, maybe I don't. Maybe not for a cocktail. I thought there was beverage napkins on here. Yeah, it's okay. We don't need it. They'll have it from the bar. All right. And I'm trying to think if we need anything else. Okay, so if you need some like tables and stuff, so maybe you want your party, you're doing this in your house and people are going to be sitting around and you don't want people setting stuff on your furniture, and you have a pool, you don't want people, dropping their stuff. So for a small thing like that, even for 100 people in a home, I would suggest getting a couple high top rounds, and we'll just do like 6 of those. And we could put like 1 or 2 in the house, then we could put a couple around the pools, and then at least it's somewhere where people to stand, they can put their drinks on, and you can have a nice party. And then it gives the party like a different look as well. And if you did need to do like, 60-inch round table with linen, that fits 8 to 10 people. 72-inch round is less common, but that fits 10 to 12 people. It gets a little tight at 12 people, and then if we did a buffet table, so buffet tables with linens, maybe you do need that. So we're going to throw a buffet table on linens just so we have somewhere to put the stuff. Maybe the counter inside your house is going to be used for the bar or something. So we're going to throw 2 tables on there. And again, all this stuff is completely up to you. So, if not all of it, but if you have a place to put all the food, boom, we scratch that. We decorate your island really nice. Not a big deal. So rentals are done. And then staff, 100 people, cocktail party, not a dinner setup. We have our general rule of thumb is going to be it's always going to have a chef and a lead, and then it's 1 staff member per 25 people. That's like the rough estimate. Obviously, if it's a plated meal, that is going to go up significantly for dinner. And if it's if there's past and place hors d'oeuvres and dinner, then we have to adjust accordingly. But in general, if it's going to be a buffet setup, a chef, a lead, and their assistants with 4 servers is plenty. We don't want to overkill, and I talked about this in another video. I don't want to send more staff on a party than I need. It just doesn't make sense to me, but I'm not going to sacrifice staff to make the night not run as smooth, if that makes sense. So I'm always going to make sure to put enough staff on there to where the night's going to be smooth and easy and nobody's going to be stressed out. And if somebody needs to go run and get something because, you know, shit happens, then, you know, we have the staff there. And for whatever reason, you know, we could do these huge proposals for people, and instead of, you know, attacking the bar or the food or anything, everybody wants to get rid of staff first. But for us, staff is very important, and it's going to be what makes or breaks the event on how smooth the night goes. It isn't necessarily going to be how much food or how many things that you bought. It's going to be the way the staff can pay attention to detail. So like I said earlier, so every event gets a lead. And what the earlier we said it's 4 to 9. So the lead has to be at the kitchen to pick up an hour before, and they've got to be at the kitchen an hour after. So we add 2 hours to that. So 4 to 9 is 5. So for the lead, we're going to do 1 server for 7 hours. And then the rest of the staff, we just charge you to be on site hours. So we're going to go chef. Really, the chef should get the same as the lead. So yeah, the chef is getting the same as the lead because they got to be there to heat up the food and pack the food up. The lead's got to get the van packed up and ready to go, and then off to the event. And if there's travel time, that's a different thing too. And then we said 4 servers. Who you're only getting charged for them to be on site. And the same thing with the bartender. One bartender can easily handle 100 people. You know, the only thing that would bog the bartender down at 100 people would be if you had some crazy signature drinks that needed more, you know, more stuff, I guess. I don't know. If you couldn't batch it and it needed to be shaken, just depends. But in general, one bartender can handle 100 people, no problem, especially when the system's good. So we have really good procedures and how we set up and stuff. So yeah, there's that. Okay, so rentals are done, staff's done. There's no miscellaneous fees, you know. So for 100 people, you're gonna have a ballin' party. You know, you got everything coming. You got the caterer setting up 2 hours before, greeting your guests at the door, making sure they know where to put gifts and wine bottles and all that stuff. We're taking care of that so that you could, you know, enjoy your event. This is going to be a blowout. We're going to say this is going to be like a 90th birthday and someone's just partied their whole life and they're going to go out with a bang or something. It could be anything. It could be a birthday too. It could be an anniversary. It could be whatever. So we're at like right around 12 grand for that. Pretty pricey, but you could also have a nice sit down dinner. No bar. Just the bar alone just cuts out so much. And this is what we would do. So your initial approach, you'd be like, oh my God, that's so expensive. It's like, right. We're bringing all this stuff to you, you know? So 12 grand, 100 people, $125 a person. If you were to go to like a nice restaurant and you're going to go to, I don't know, what's a Roy's or what's another big place? Some nice restaurant in town. You're going to spend 125, especially if they're drinking, and probably more. $125 a person at a nice restaurant with booze, and they're drinking 4 or 5 drinks. Nice restaurants are charging $10-12 a drink, anyways. That's a minimum. You know, that's $40 on them. It is what it is. So, but if you wanted to go a totally different route, let's get rid of all this stuff. We're going to go a totally different. We're going to say, we're going to do a nice sit down dinner, a couple of past hors d'oeuvres, right? So let's do past hors d'oeuvres for 100. And we're going to do, let's see. And then we're going to go a couple past hors d'oeuvres, and we're going to go a couple, and then we're going to do like a sit down dinner. So what are we going to do before? Let's do ginger Hawaiian meatballs, ginger spice meatballs. Oops, shit, didn't do it. Meatballs. And then we're going to do some crab cakes. And then we're going to do dinner. Let's do a dinner buffet. Dinner buffet. A salad. Maybe you're like playing it safe. Let's do Caesar salad. Oh my God, mac salad, no way. Salad. There we go. That's why. We're going to go chicken. So you're really safe when you like chicken piccata. That's like something that's been around for 50 years. Why not? Nice. Or let's do a potato. Let's do roasted potatoes and a veg. Roasted veg. Roasted vegetables. So now we're going to get like a totally different experience, right? So before it was like blowout party, past hors d'oeuvres, everybody's having a grand time, whatever. This is going to be a little bit more low key. You got a couple past hors d'oeuvres to get people going for the first hour while they get there. And then we're going to have like a nice sit down dinner or buffet or something with, chicken, Caesar salad, potatoes, and vegetables. We're still right around that 32, 34. I think it was 34 before. And then say we didn't want a bar. Let's not do a bar. Let's do a bar. Let's do all the bar stuff. Well, we're going to say you're going to provide the alcohol, which is fine. A lot of people have it there. We're going to still do the mixers for you. We're going to do the disposables for you. And we're going to get rid of those high tops. We're going to let people wing it. Maybe you're at a clubhouse or something. They already have the tables and chairs there. We're going to keep the buffet. We're going to go, we can keep the disposables, or let's go to real dishes. Let's see what happens. Why can't I find it? Place and flour package. So this is going to be all real dishes. And we're going to do linen napkins. Linen napkins. All right. Totally different experience. Sit down meal. Real dishes. Different setting, obviously. And you're still going to do a bar, but you're going to provide the alcohol. We're going to provide all the other stuff. All right. So that's still going to be the same. So now what was the quote before? I think there was like 12,000 or something. So now your 12,000 dollar quote. Now we're at like $8,600. That's like a $4,000 or $5,000 difference. So when I tell people when we say, hey, give me a ballpark. It's like, okay, well, when you get a ballpark, it's like, there's so many details about your party. I don't really know. Where is it at? Do you have room for 100 people in your house? Is it going to be in a venue? Does the venue going to allow the caterer going to be in there? There's a ton of questions you got to ask. So depending on your style and your wedding, or not your wedding, but like your event, it really is going to depend on what the price is. We just went from just a hors d'oeuvre party, like a high-end cocktail party, to a nice sit-down dinner. And the price is significantly different, so, and if you add something, there's obviously going to be something. If you add tenderloin on here, it's going to kill you, right? So tenderloin, you want a tenderloin carving station, tenderloin, $20 a person. You're adding $2,000 right off the bat. That just the tenderloin is going to take you up past 11,000. So really, depending on what you want, this is why it's super important. Like when you get your first proposal from us, that's not what we charge. It just depends on what you want. This is a fine thing. If you're doing a special celebration or anything like that, nobody's going to leave hungry. It's going to be a super good experience. We're going to take care of everything top to bottom. If there's any adjustments you need to make up until the deadline for you to make adjustments, which is 2 weeks out, this is what that process gives. This is what that process is for. So building these proposals on here, I just wanted to give people a little bit more insight on like what goes into it, and not everything's just cookie cutter, like this is it, there's no way to get it down, there's no way to get it up. We're not just going to lower the price and give everybody the same thing, then essentially the customer's asking us to do something for free. But there are ways to build around this. I mean, we can go even a crazier route than this. Let's go if you're really on a budget. We're balling on a budget. We want caterers. Let's ball on a budget real quick. Better cater. Let me delete more than one thing at a time. Come on, get that in there. Let's go. We have a couple bars or like fun things. So like a taco bar. Let's do a taco bar. Full taco bar, $20 a person. And just because you can't have a taco bar without some rice and beans, let's go rice. Let's do some Spanish rice, Mexican rice. And let's do some beans. Let's do black beans. Yeah. So now it's a rehearsal dinner, or it's a birthday, or it's a quinceañera, or something. You want to keep it real simple, right? So now we got a full taco bar, Mexican rice and beans, no hors d'oeuvres and none of the fancy stuff. We're around $30 a person. You're not doing a birthday party. This is going to be a quinceañera. You're not going to be letting a bunch of 15-year-olds go around drinking and having a good time. Well, stop. We're not going to do that. But maybe for a quinceañera, all the parents are going to need something to drink. That'll be, you're doing it out in a field somewhere, in a barn, and we're going to come cater for you. No problem. We're going to leave the basic beverage package on there. We're going to get rid of the bar ice. We're going to get rid of the bar. We're going to, We're going to get rid of the bar setup and everything that's associated with it. Linen napkins. We don't need that at quinceañera. We're going to go back down to common disposables. Common disposables, plates and flatware. Still get the basic beverage, so you're still going to be able to do water, iced tea, lemonade. We're going to come set up. We don't need that bartender anymore. Totally different feel. So let me make sure we have all this stuff. Mexican rice and beans. Beverages. Oh, but it's quinceañera. You want something sweet. Let's do something sweet. Let's do flan. So now it might look more because now you're at $36 a person. That's the highest the food's been, right? But then we didn't need all that other stuff, right? So now we're going to come down here, $7,400, right? So now this is a completely different thing, right? It's not a big cocktail party. It's not a wedding or anything. This is just a smaller celebration. So we just came down another $1,000, but it's a completely different experience, right? You're still going to get like what my new guy calls a white glove treatment. You're still going to get us to come in and clean up and set up and all of that stuff. You're still going to get all of that. But this is just a different experience than the two previous proposals we built before, right? So we're still going to have the staff. We're still going to have everything taken care of. You're still going to have everything in nice chafing dishes. You're going to have a nice buffet set up with decorations and all that stuff. We're going to do all that stuff for you, but the experience is completely different, right? So now we're at $7,400. The first proposal was at $12,000 for a cocktail party. That's a different thing, different experience. So, you know, when you go to book a caterer, don't just take that first proposal and just run with it. There's a lot of other things that can be done. There's a lot of other ways we can help you. Say $12,000 was your budget and you're like, I don't give a shit, I'm going. Perfect. Do it. If you want to add more, let's go ice sculpture. Let's get crazy. Let's add sushi. I don't care. Let's do it. But if you're not looking for that experience, let's look for a different experience. And so we're going to work with you on what you want to do. You know, my thing is that I want to show you our proposal process because I like being a glass door. I don't want there to ever be any questions or people worried about gouging or any of that stuff. My prices are the same. And for the record, I don't even build proposals really anymore. I have staff that do it, and when they do it, it's set up for them. So yeah, so let's take this proposal. We're at 7,400. We're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go deposit amount. It's a 50% deposit. It doesn't have to be exact. It's $7,000. We're gonna go 3,500. 3,500 deposit gets you booked. Look we're not writing stuff into the terms and conditions. We have it saved right here. Everybody gets the same thing. Glass door. It's a lot easier for us too to make everything the same all the time. So client has bar set up. We're going to go no. We're going to say no facilities set up in a field somewhere. I'm going to put this in the notes because everything that I put in the notes here, we're going to copy. I'm going to put it in my BEO notes, and then my staff's going to see that, and they're going to be like, shit, okay, you know what? We're going to need to bring lights, extension cords, our oven set up, and we're going to get this thing done, right? If I don't put the notes, then we don't know. Anything that has to do with the actual event itself, we'll put in here. And typically what I'll do is I'll say packing notes, and then we'll do kitchen notes. Then we'll do back of house, front of house. So this is really our how we do this. So the kitchen or the packing notes is anything that we need to know ahead of time. No facilities, set up in a field somewhere. All right, I'm going to say no water, no electric. These are things that we need to know. And if it wasn't that, if it's not that, it's something like high-rise building, 20th floor. And then the dreaded No elevator, just to mess with my staff. No elevator, just kidding. I'd probably have to say no to that one. But anything that we need to know, like if we need to pack anything extra, if we need to bring anything special, if there's any certain circumstance, or if whatever it is, packing notes is just stuff that can happen in here in the office before while we're packing our trucks, whether we need something or we don't need something. Kitchen notes are going to be like allergy is allergy is guest of honor. Right? That's going to make us in the kitchen go, okay, we don't want to, maybe we don't want to give them just their like tofu with vegetables. Maybe we want to make something special. Or I don't know, what's another? Kitchen notes would be like, but yeah, make rice gluten-free. Something like that. You'd be like, oh, well, Matt, all rice is gluten-free. Not really, because we add stuff to it. We're not just giving you steamed rice. We're going to put a bunch of stuff in there. Make it taste delicious. Some of the stuff might have gluten. So we got to know that. So the kitchen notes. And then these are on site. So back at the house would be like, kitchen not available, right? Kitchen not available. Bring trailer, right? Or something like that. Something that has to do with the back of the house, the kitchen staff, whatever they need to do. Oven sucks. Oven small. Set up in garage, because some people want to set them in the garage. Right? These are the details that we need to know ahead of time. And in general, the staff is really good at getting these details. But the more we know going into your property, because we don't really do site visits. You know, we do so many events. It's not really necessary to do a site visit. If you want us to do a site visit, we will. But we're gonna have to charge you for it because we do 200 events a year. We're doing stuff in literally the middle of fields. We're doing stuff in nice air conditioned venues. We're doing stuff in people's homes. We're doing things in people's clubhouses. You know, we're in all sorts of things all the time. There's very little, if any, scenario that we can be put in that we can't figure it out. But we want to know this stuff ahead of time. So what I do is, and then the front of the house notes would be like, you know, buffet set up by the pool, right? Because that's where like the front of the house stuff is set up. Or I don't know, themed party, client providing t-shirts or something. We had that happen one time. I don't know. But this is all stuff that has to do with front of the house staff on site. So then what we'll do is we'll take that whole thing, we'll copy it, we'll put it in here. Right. And obviously this stuff is bogus. It doesn't really mean anything, but just to give you kind of an idea. And then we're done. And really what I should have done is through that whole thing, I should have been saving a long time, because if the power goes out and you're like halfway through building a proposal, oh God, it's so terrible. Build that whole freaking thing again. So, all right. So then once that's all set, this is what the customer gets, right? So you go to the invoice proposal. We don't really mess with that stuff anymore. I have specific things that, what I want to see and how I want to see it. And it's always good to preview the report, and this is what the customer gets. Let's go a little bigger. All right. So it's going to be all organized and nice. Going to have our stuff on it. Billed to me because the party's for me. This is our This is our location and our contact info, where to find us, where to email us, where to call us, all that. And it's going to have all your event information, date, where the address is that the party's being held, how many peoples it's for, the staff arrival, all the timeline that we put in there, and then this is your menu. So the things that have descriptions, the descriptions will be right here with it, so people know what it is, and they'll know how much it is per item. This is your subtotal per person, so you're at 36, where it says unit price, you're at $36. And it breaks it down by category too. $350 for beverages, $380 for rentals, $16 per person for the staffing is what it ends up breaking down to. And this is it. And then all those notes that we just talked about, the notes are going to be right here. So you'll be able to see all the same notes that we put in our BEO. So this is what customer review and then the final contract, right? So when people say, oh, it wasn't in the contract. Well, it was in the contract and you got it from very first proposal. Very first time. So we don't want to like spring things on people. So every time you have a revision, every time you're you're making a payment, every time you're doing anything at all, you're getting that contract. And our contract literally takes, I don't know, 3 minutes to read. It's really not long at all. It's like 2 pages. It's all blown up because, I did this, but if you really do, it's really not long. Yeah, it's not even 2 pages, I don't think. And it kind of goes in order of what you need. The final changes need to be done by 14 days out. Why do we do that? Because we have to order the food, we have to staff the event, we have to have everything ready so that we're not like the week of making changes and, being wasteful and all that stuff. So 14 days out for your final payment. And we reach out to you in that time anyways. Like we'll reach out at 4 weeks out, we'll reach out at 3 weeks out, and then finally at 14 days out. If you haven't paid yet, then we'll reach out again. But we try to be very clear about all this stuff. So this is what you're getting, and if you're not, I don't know how anybody else does their contracts. I've seen lots of people's contracts in the area. I like mine because they're clean and easy to read. Some people's are not. Well, it is what it is. People have their own ways of doing stuff. It's not a big deal. But this is how we do it. So, and then from here, what we do is we'll download it and then we'll drag it over and we'll put it into our CRM software, and then we'll email it to you or text to you or however you wanted us to do it. We would get in contact with you and send it over. So that's what the proposal looks like. Actually, while I'm doing this, so what we see in the kitchen, say this is done, we confirmed it, we're good to go. What we'll do is we'll print the reports, and there's all these different reports, but the banquet event order, when I say BEO, that's what I mean. This is going to be the sheet for the kitchen or for the person packing. This is the sheet that they get so that they know in general what the party's going to have on it. So the BEO, those notes that we took down, that we copied, now the BEO, the staff can see the same notes that the customer can see. So that we didn't miss anything. This is what it looks like. So your is full taco bar, Mexican rice, black beans, flan, 100 servings, basic bev package, disposables, buffets, linens, and then anything else that we need to put in there. So that first proposal we did with all the cocktail hour and the pass and placed and all the different rentals and all the stuff, obviously the BEO will be a lot larger, but this is a pretty cut and dried, simple thing. This is what we see on our end. So, and typically the customer would never see this, but I think it's important that you get to, because then you can see that we try to be as organized as possible, and nothing really should slip through the cracks, preferably. So I think that's it. So I hope you guys learned something today. I wish that Better Cater had some more videos on their software online, but maybe I'll do a full review of the software later. But in general, it's good. It's super easy to learn. It's super easy to put together. It's just very basic. The things that it does, they do it well, but there's just like little tweaks in here, like if I'm looking at all of my parties, let's say the events, like I have 2 people that build proposals in here, right? Like, why can't I see who built the proposal? Like, there should be a column here that says the person that built the proposal on it. Because when you go into it, it says who built the proposal. When you go into the actual event, look, it says assigned. But there's all these other people in there, and they build proposals too. So just like little things like that are getting annoying. But in general, it's easy. The staff like it, and they think it's easy to work. The customers like the way the invoices are, and it does make that stuff easy. I just wish it did a little more. So perfect. I think we got it. I think we did it. Let's stop doing that, and let's move on, and let's book some more caterings. Let's book them. Book the caterings. All right. Have a good one. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, do all this stuff. And if you want me to put anything else up that has to do with catering or food or even some business stuff or how I got started or whatever it is, I want to talk to people. So reach out. Have a good one.